Hey guys, and welcome to the Adulting 101 podcast. My name is Ayo, and I'm so glad to have you guys tuning in. If you're on YouTube, hey, what's up? I hope you guys are well. I'm going to try and come on an angle so you can kind of see my face properly, but it is what it is. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, I really appreciate you. If you could rate me on whichever platform that you're listening to, that would be great. But I guess we should get into the episode before you're able to rate me, right? So today we're going to talk about, I guess, the balance between existing and glowing up or leveling up and that kind of thing. We'll get into it as the more I speak. I think it's hard to even describe it without just going straight into it. And funnily enough, for today's episode, I kind of wanted to talk about a trending topic, but if you haven't listened to my first episode of 2022, I spoke about how I deleted Twitter. And so because of that, I don't really know what the trends are. I think there's this funny running narrative that Instagram is always 3 weeks late to things. So perhaps there's something trending. I'm sure there is always something trending. But I don't feel as tapped into the know. And to be fair, I'm not that mad at it. It's not a bad thing. But I think I was hoping, I guess, for this week's episode, I'd talk about a trending topic. I know one trending topic that has come up about 2 weeks ago now was about Molly-Mae and the whole 24 hours thing. I feel like I've expressed my opinion to those around me where it's mattered. But I'm probably not going to go into it. But if you want to go into it, definitely let me know. Respond on Spotify or give me a comment on YouTube. Let me know what you thought about the whole Molly-Mae saga. I feel for her because I know she's young, and I know that people have really gotten onto her, to the point where it's probably been a bit extreme, and there's been so many people chatting about it. But at the same time, I do think we have to be wise with our words. So I'm just going to leave it there. So yeah, I feel like that was one trending topic that came up. I was hoping there'd be something else that I could talk about this week, but I don't feel like there's really anything that I can mention. So I wanted to talk about, the balance between existing and glowing up content or leveling up content. This is probably going to maybe speak to more the women that listen to this podcast, basically just because, I don't know, you'll have to tell me if it's just me. Maybe it's my YouTube algorithm. Maybe it's my Instagram algorithm. It probably is, to be fair, because when it comes to social media, it's always trying to feed you what it thinks you're interested in based on your past history, based on the things that you watch for the longest, things that you like, things that you interact with, things that you engage with. We kind of know that already. So it might just be me, but I personally feel like there's been a huge surge of leveling up content, how to level up in your 20s, what you need to be doing in your 20s. And the funny thing is that I feel like I haven't, maybe I've listened to one or two, I say listen to, maybe watched one or two of those YouTube videos, but I don't feel like I watch it enough in terms of how do you say it? I don't feel like I watch it enough that YouTube should be recommending it to me all the time. That the fact that it's all over my feed and it's always a thing. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like it doesn't, the quantity that it serves me or that it tries to get me to watch it, it doesn't weigh up to how much I actually consume it. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I listen to or watch enough close to it that makes it think that, you're going to want this. But anyway, let's not get into that. I just feel like I've been getting a lot of that content and I've been is it me? Am I the drama? I'm not the drama. Do you know what I mean? I've been it's not me. I haven't, the idea of leveling up and glowing up isn't a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing actually. But I feel like it's kind of weird where I'm not necessarily in that space, but a lot of social media is feeding me that to the point where it makes me feel inadequate. And this isn't a new I would say it's not a new topic. I think the whole issue that we have with social media, or the thing that we're constantly reminded about when it comes to social media, is a lot of times it's going to flash you things that you didn't necessarily want or didn't necessarily need, but it's going to make you feel like you need this thing. And so it's very common. But I think whenever I've thought about it in terms of products. So, you know, your favorite influencer is always going to be showing off these luxury handbags and this jewelry and that top and that, you know what I mean? Like I've always thought about it in terms of products. But I feel like my social media, maybe I've ventured into the slightly toxic kind of hustle culture narrative thing, but not necessarily hustle culture itself, but something that's kind of adjacent to it in terms of leveling up, glowing up, productivity, all of this stuff. That's a thing, to be fair. I know that I consume a lot of productivity content, so I don't know if maybe this leveling up, glowing up content thing is adjacent to that. But yeah, I've always thought about social media and its toxicity in terms of products, but I never thought that it could sort of spill into, I guess, how you live your life, full stop, if that makes sense. And it's even hard for me to talk about like maybe the things I don't like about it, because I haven't consumed enough of the content. But I know that when it comes to those videos about how to level up in your 20s, and then like you maybe see a thumbnail of what it looks like, I'm just a bit like, this doesn't interest me. I'm concerned that it's gonna be, oh yeah, you know, invest in makeup to make sure you look good, and you know, get a good morning routine and all this stuff that I feel like I know enough of, or I know what I want to do to, I guess, level up. But I don't want to be, this sounds really odd, but like I don't want to be told how to do it, especially because there's so much of that content that I just feel like it could frazzle me. So yeah, I've just basically noticed that there's been a huge surge in level up content, or I feel like I've been fed a lot of level up, glow up in your 20s content. How to become that girl, that girl, the it girl. There's that gorgeous girls do this. I just feel like I've been fed a lot of that, and I don't like it. But at the same time, I see the value in it. I see the value, maybe even for people that might be younger than me, slightly younger than me. They are looking for which direction to go to. They recognize they want to become, even me, to be fair, as much as I'm saying younger people, it could be anyone, somebody that's my age, somebody that's older, it could be any age. But maybe you recognize that you want to do more, you want to achieve more, you want to be bigger than you are now, or in whatever capacity that might be, but you don't know how to get there. And I feel like that's probably where that level up content fits well into. And don't get me wrong, as much as I don't want that now, I recognize there may be times where I'm like, I need something new. I need to change something. Something needs to change in order for me to get to the place that I want to be. And in general, I know that I want to level up. Like, who I am today is not who I want to be tomorrow. I don't want to be the exact same person, you know, throughout this year. By the time we get to 31st of December 2022, I'm trying to be a better version of myself, right? And I think we all should be striving for that. We always recognize that there's something that we can improve, something that we can get better at, something that we can achieve, all that beautiful stuff. I've kind of lost my train of thought, but I was basically trying to get to that. Like, I see the value in that content, but I think it's like, there's a time and a place, and I guess this is what it is about social media. You have to know when to switch off, you have to know when it's not for you, you have to know all these things. But it's like, where's the content that also kind of encourages you to exist, like just to be still, right? I know there's some content out there like that, maybe it just doesn't get enough traction. Another type of content that I've been really getting into, or really seeing a lot of, has been that sort of lifestyle daily vlogs. Somebody making their frothy coffee and just watering their plant and opening their balcony and looking at the view. They're doing some stretches and a meditation. Like, I've been seeing content like that, which is all great, but it's still geared towards like leveling up and like morning routines and all of this stuff, which again, I'm not trying to say is a bad thing, But I think when you're fed it so much, it's just exhausting. It's exhausting in the same way that like you're always being fed this new top, this new dress, like when it's constantly at you, constantly feeling like, oh, my wardrobe isn't enough, I don't have enough stuff, I need more stuff, I need to buy more stuff. That's kind of how I feel with this level up content. Like, oh, there's always something I need to be doing, I'm not good enough, this is where I need to be, this is where I need to be at, this is what I need to be doing, I need to do this in my morning routine, I need to wake up at this time, I need to be I'm tired. I'm actually tired. Please, someone, if you relate to this, let me know, because I don't know if it's just me, or if this sounds crazy to you, let me know as well. But I don't know. I guess I'm discovering properly that social media, it can be toxic in several different ways. And one of the ways that it's really gotten to me, as much as the overwhelm in general, or communication aspects, there's those aspects, but a way that it's getting to me is making me feel inadequate because I'm not living what social media's standard of a best life is. And it's interesting now because as I'm talking about it, I'm realizing that it kind of feeds into the conversation about Molly May and do we all have the same 24 hours? Because it's that same narrative, that same like hustle culture, girl boss hustle culture, as I like to, or people have liked to describe it as, where you have the same 24 hours as Beyonce. You need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. If you're not doing that, you don't want it enough. You can sleep when you're dead. It's so interesting because I think I'm just getting to realize that. And I'm trying to understand what I can do to, I guess, feed my algorithm the right things to feed me, basically. I don't know. It's like I'm trying to understand how we can reset our algorithm so that it's not feeding us something that we feel like we need. Maybe YouTube has realized that, 20-year-olds young females maybe between the ages of 20 to 28 or 20 to 30 maybe love this content or need this content because it's going to make them earn more money and get this and get, I don't know, maybe YouTube has realized something and because of that it's feeding me this thing, but boy do I hate it. I really hope this podcast doesn't just end up turning into rants, but it's really frustrating me, and I'm trying to understand what I can do in order to make sure my social media doesn't do that to me, constantly make me feel inadequate. And obviously it's important to again see the value in this content and take everything with a pinch of salt, etc., but sometimes when you're not feeling the greatest, it's not easy. And I think what I would say is that, for those that don't know, I started like my own small business in, what year was it now? 2020? Was it? 2019 maybe? I don't know. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Must be 2020. I think it was 2020. I started a small home fragrance business called Augustina Home. And at the time I started it because my day job wasn't fulfilling me. I wasn't really happy with what was going on there. I'd saved some money towards a house at the time, but I didn't feel like I was going to buy a house. Or I would be able to afford a house. So I told myself that like, okay, let me see if there's something else I can invest in, something that could really fulfill me and tap into something that I'm kind of passionate about. And so I started the business. But what I would say is that like I started it in August, so I started it on my mom's birthday. I started in August, and then August 2020 I think it was. I've been running it since, but things have been really slow, like since last year 2021. It was a slower year. Obviously I moved into the flat and there was a lot going on, and my health, life, whatever it is, and now it's gotten to the point where yeah, I'm just kind of like I want to keep it going, but I don't know if I should. So I'm at that place, and I registered the business, and this is even going to feed into another topic that I want to get into, just about, I guess, the realities of running a small business and what that entails. Because even though I have a perspective, there's even more to it that I know is coming. And I think a lot of people should be aware of before jumping into it. And that's not to say I didn't know it at the time, but I think I just didn't realize how resilient I would need to be if things changed. And so, yeah, basically I've been toying about, like, should I keep it going? Should I pause it? Should I don't know, register it as dormant for now, and then later on, I don't know. And I think maybe that content that I was talking about, that level up content, has been triggering me in terms of that, because I'm seeing people that wake up early, work on their business, before they even start their 9 to 5, then do their 9 to 5, then work on their business in the evening. And I'm like, bro, like, y'all are doing bits. As for me, I'm tired. So is there something wrong with me? Am I the drama? I hope you guys are getting that reference, because if you don't, that's really awkward. But yeah, it just makes me wonder, like, it's me, like, I'm the one that can't operate at that level of hustle culture that is required, which is required for running a business. It's not even like, I'm not even trying to say that, like, oh, it should be any other. No, like, me starting a business while having a 9 to 5 was going to take a lot of work. And in the face of life changing, I just don't know. I'm glad I did it, don't get me wrong. I don't have any regrets. But yeah, I think I'm just like toying with that idea, and that content coming about, just, boy, it's triggering. But yeah, sometimes I'm just like, I just want to exist. Like, I just want to chill. I want to relax. I want to exist. But then I always know that even as I do that, or try to focus on that, there's always something in me that knows that I need to be doing a little bit more. Not in a toxic way, I don't think, but just recognizing that sitting and existing for too long just doesn't sit right with me. I'm meant to be doing more. Like, there's something in my spirit, there's something that's pushing me that, like, no, there's more to be done here. So yeah, I think it's a interesting place that I'm in. It's an interesting place you might be in as well, in terms of that concept. Let me know. Have you guys been fed with level up content, glowing up content, hustle culture content? What do you think about it? I know, same with Molly May, I know there's value in things that certain people say, and then you recognize that actually, no, that's not okay. So there's a balance in it all. What, like, right now, do you feel like you're in a place of existing, or leveling up, or glowing up, or just somewhere in the middle? Is there somewhere in the middle? I'm sure there is. Let me know. Thank you again for listening to this Adulting 101 podcast. If you have anything you want me to talk on, let me know down in the comments, or just reply back to me on Spotify, or send me a DM on Insta. I appreciate you. Next week's episode will be back again Monday, 7 a.m. I think I leave it till, I don't know, around that time. But every Monday you'll have Adulting 101 podcast. Thank you so much again, and I'm gonna speak to you tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next week. Apologies. Bye.